everybody, and welcome back to a new episode where we learn's good. We play our game in our own changed setting and universe of Waterdeep, now called Waterdale, with new elements of the Industrial Revolution. Of course, our key feature remains a long-lost treasure. Last episode, our group attended the ginormous Bilmore Ball, event of the season. With each character meeting new figures, we now have our clue obtained, a new mission to visit the docks and find a shady group of pirates. Without further ado, let's all scoot into the paths of a new adventure. As the clock strikes 10, the group of adventurers make their way through the city streets, their stunning gowns and cloaks billowing in the cool night breeze. They had just attended the grand Bilmore Ball held in the Elder District, where nobles had gathered to revel in the bliss of the evening. Our group navigates the pathways of the city, making their way back home. Gas lamps illuminate the streets, casting a flickering glow on the scene. Shadows danced and wavered on the stones of buildings, creating an eerie yet enchanting atmosphere. The occasional carriage rattled by, its horses decorated with lavish trappings and driven by men. The adventurers' footsteps echoed through the deserted streets, amplified by the silence that had settled after the night's business. They could almost hear the whispers of the city's secrets, hidden behind closed doors and drawn curtains. Finally, they reached the lone-standing houses of the Elder District. They bid farewell to the night's splendor, carrying with them memories of a world steeped in luxury and ready to enter a place of calm, and their stay in Waterdale, the home given by Volothamp. The four of them gathered in the drawing room, taking their seats as well as a deserved breather. Gradually, our group started discussing their shares of information gathered at the party. Averai began, retelling her share of information obtained at the party. How a ship was seen at the docks, a strange pirate ship, as well as mysterious disappearances around it. She couldn't make more out of it, but certainly found the circumstances strange. Something to investigate. After the exchange of information about the ship in the docks, Averai began explaining how she met Clarice in the garden, and the opportunity to join on one of her performances with a VIP ticket, as well as our damsel in distress, her call for help. After all, Clarice had a violent stalker chasing her. The group, however, didn't seem too interested.
I don't feel like any of those are connected to the treasure, however. I mean, one just sounds like human trafficking and the other sounds like charity work, if we're going to help her.
It had a thing to do with the ship as well. Well, people were concerned about it. I heard that the people are getting information rather quickly, but all sorts of things like faster than most people around.
That does sound interesting.
With the ship seemingly discussed in detail, Averai decided to ask the others if they had any fun at the party as well. Did they merely look for information, or did they go out and enjoy themselves? Edmund, as the first to answer, responded how his investigation didn't go as planned. He returned with not as much as he liked, and was long glad that the others were more successful. In turn, Arthur and Fletch answered the same question. This led to a more interesting discovery.
I talked to a lass who gave me the information on the ship. Haven't you read any? Haven't you got any information? I did see you talking to Prince.
Come on! No.
I know, I think it's suspicious. I'm sorry, he kinda ran into me, nearly fell over me. He bumped into me and he apologized, so he crouched next to me but he said he talked to you. And
it was Theodore, right?
Afterwards, Averai changed the topic back to Clarice in hopes of finding a solution for her new friend. Therefore, Edmund came forth with a story and experience of his own concerning a business rival. In fact, a bounty hunter, a stalker, someone dangerous, someone to stay away from and avoid at all costs. He changed the conversation to himself, deciding to ask the important questions about his own safety rather than Clarice, a woman he had never met and shared no connection with.
Die heb je niet.
It's Gamaya. I mean, you mentioned you're an assassin, so I thought protection. And of course, the treasure's not bad. If we run into this person...
I would need some more information. Though.
Of course, I
You
understand.
didn't have to get that new.
I'll keep that in mind.
Right. I mean, how dangerous is this person?
Let's just keep it at something to avoid.
Why is there a bounty hunter after?
Old business partner.
Okay.
Just some things went down. But I do actually have half a poster. Maybe it can help you determine what she looks like.
Perhaps.
I don't know. It is ripped in half.
I mean, I could take a look at it. Maybe I've seen the poster before or something. So,
Edmund proceeds to show Fletch the wand poster. This wand poster, in fact. He further explains that our mystery woman is a tiefling with purple skin, purple hair, and purple horns. Fletch remains distrustful and uncertain, but for now he plays along. To ease Edmund's mind and relieve tension, Averai once again tries to get the others to talk about their more fun experiences at the party. Truly, they seem allergic to fun, considering how they try to avoid the topic. Or there are secrets.
Leave all them
he
brains.
did tell you. He said he talked to us about the ship.
Well, that's
No,
not really
that's not fun.
That's business.
Yeah.
That's work.
Well, we started about the ship and we just.
But did you
started
at
talking
least
about
did
it.
something
Yeah,
fun?
walked around with her. But we talked about the travel and stuff.
I'm not much of that.
Oh,
Then
it
you
wasn't
see
fun.
how small I am. Anyway,
No, that's
I
not for you.
know that thing.
Did you dance? You didn't say no.
I see you, no? Swim was more than just talking me.
The voice suddenly getting high pitched.
I
There
mean,
is a wee more about this.
I
We're coming
agree.
handy though. And we're coming handy. Sorry, it's just part of the deal here.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
You joined the team. Now
Yes.
And what is the correct way to respond to bullying? That's right! Throwing your artificial eye at someone!
Oh, that's
We didn't say he was so shocked. He just started crying.
what the fuck?
Everybody just, bro! That's my makeup!
That's disgusting.
oh my god.
No, wait, I will just instantly stand up and go for No.
Why would I actually throw my eye? That's so not sanitary.
That's so disgusting. You
I'm gonna
monster.
act like nothing happened.
As soon as the players calm down, and therefore the characters, they decide to play a game of pool. Dominating the center is a large, elegant pool table. The table itself is a masterpiece, crafted from dark wood. The green fabric surface stands out against the surrounding red tones. Against one wall, a dartboard is mounted, with next to it a scoreboard. The room is completed by thick, heavy curtains on the windows. When drawn, they block out the outside world, creating an intimate, private atmosphere, perfect for an evening of games and conversation. The faint smell of polished wood and leather occupy the room, mingling with the subtle scent of tobacco from the usage of cigars. Edmund, as an experienced bargoer, and for that reason pool player, taught the others how the basics worked.
It's not that hard. You basically
You
take the stick and you
hit the weight
lean
ball.
your finger like this, and then you can kind of.
The group ended up playing in teams. On one side we have Edmund and Averai, and on the other team Fletch and Arthur. Edmund went to play first, hitting in one of the half-colored balls, and thus selecting which balls were his to hit for the remainder of the game. The game is played on a rectangular 6-pocket table with 15 balls. 7 yellows, 7 reds, and 1 black 8-ball, plus 1 white cue ball. To win, a player or team must score all their colored balls in any order, and then followed by the 8th ball. The first ball you score determines which group of balls you play, either full or half-colored. Hitting a ball in one of the pockets means you can have another go.
Do you want to hit it, or should I continue?
Edmund insisted Averai should play. Letting Averai go next with Edmund's assistance, the group continues their game. At first, they heavily took note of the scores, of the rules and their turns. However, with a drink here and there, as well as friendly conversation and laughter, the group is lost to a game of fun rather than strictly playing by the rules. After 2 games of pool, Arthur in particular grew tired of standing during the period of multiple games. He requested for the others to come along and head back to the drawing room to sit down. So, as the group heads from the game room to the drawing room, Edmund suggests a game of poker. Averai, in turn, wants something a bit more casual. Finally, our cast settles on playing a simple game of cards, an easy game, after such a busy day. Each person receives a deck of cards, and after pulling one card, whoever has the highest can ask a question of choice to whoever has the lowest. If one pulls the Joker, they can ask either the person with the highest card or the lowest card a question. Again, a simple game brought up by Averai to get to know the others a bit more. Arthur settles into one of the plush armchairs in the corner of the dimly lit drawing room. They lean back, letting out a sigh as they begin to remove their artificial lower leg. The prosthetic is a site of steampunk engineering, a blend of brass, leather, and polished steel. Tubes and gears are intricately interwoven, clicking softly as they make subtle adjustments to the limb's position. With practiced ease, the scientist reaches down to a series of small latches and releases them, each one emitting a faint hiss of steam. As the clasps disengage, they carefully lift the prosthetic away from their knee. The joint where flesh meets metal is lined with a padded leather cuff, designed for comfort and a snug fit. Once the leg is removed, Arthur places it gently on the small table beside the chair. Copper tubes snake around the leg, some leading to a small, whirring mechanism near the knee joint. This mechanism controls the limb's movement, powered by a miniature steam engine housed in the upper section of the leg. The engine occasionally lets out a small puff of steam. The foot of the prosthetic is reinforced with a metal sole, capable of handling rough terrain and providing stability. As Arthur relaxes, they rub their thigh absent-mindedly, feeling a relief of removing the prosthetic after a long day. The contrast between the mechanical leg and their organic form is striking, a blend of humanity and machinery that tells a story of resilience and adaptation in a world where steam and gears shape the current ongoing evolution. Either way, our game has started in the meantime. While Arthur took off his prosthetic, Fletch and Edmund ended up with the highest and lowest cards. Edmund a king, and Fletch a 2.
Oh man.
I asked you before about a certain question, and you dodged the subject. About the failed mission. What happened?
Well, as pretty much as I already said. It was one of my first assignments, and it made me go well, and it got scratched in the face by that mink. So
Seeing through Fletch with ease due to a naturally high insight check, Edmund called him out. He sensed there was more to Fletch's story.
I'm calling bullshit. There's more, isn't there?
Wait, it is the LA. That is what happened. Of course, it's not the entire story. It was one of my first assignments, and he had to go in. He had to go into this house, and the person who hired me asked to get more information on the one he was supposed to kill. So I went out to the study to first get there. And Jinx, my companion, isn't he a mouse?
I know.
My companion, well, he just met him then, and he was curious and made quite a lot of noise, which, well, kind of triggered the blink dog that was sitting there, which, of course, woke up the owner. So yeah, he came after me, and it wasn't fast enough.
Forward, you were in line.
Hey, he probably followed us into the house. He's probably somewhere around.
He followed
He's
and now
got
he's
like a
He's
little hamster.
probably a near hamster. It's a lemming. So he could probably call for him, and yeah,
His name
he's
is
a
Jinx.
trusted ally. He's not a pet. That is Jinx. Jinx is tiny. Jinx is 50 centimeters long.
It's not
Still, that's like a quarter of your size.
I can talk to him. Yeah. I can speak my native language with him. With any holdent that's connected to mouse family. He's not very used to humans. But if he's around you guys for a lot of stuff, then it'll be fine. And I can explain to him that you guys are fine. So another round of cards then.
Trying to stop the conversation, and most of all, the spotlight on him, Fletch tried to direct the topic back to the card game again. Edmund picked the highest card, and once more got to ask his question. However, this time directed to Arthur.
Good. What made you become a scientist? Is there any other reason apart from your sickness? Makes sense.
So, that's the question.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
After Arthur's interrogation, Averai ends up with the highest card. Someone else's turn to ask a dreaded question. She directs her question to Arthur! Again! She asks him about his family, specifically their response to him getting ill. Must have been quite a shock. However, such an emotional question wasn't received well. At all.
That's important.
Up to the next person to be asked a question. And finally, the first time for this person to answer a question too. No more avoidance and good luck. Edmund was asked how he became as wealthy as he is now. He tells the group he came from a rather wealthy family, born in wealth, but he quickly fixed his own error. He, in fact, was adopted.
You were adopted.
Not that much, just an orphanage. But
Did you have to play
no,
with?
I'm an only child. I wouldn't say that. I don't mind having all the attention, you know. We had servants.
That's very different though.
I never quite minded, however. Servants were quite nice.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
No, we're like feeling fine with just being.
Edmund continues to dive into more detail about his past, how his adoptive parents were mostly absent, overseas for work, and leaving the servants to keep watch over the young heir. And being the heir shoulders a lot of weight and expectations. After all, you are supposed to become head of the house.
I like my freedom, so
Did
that's-
you?
I did. I took some with me before I left.
Understandable.
That's quite a lot you do.
Yeah,
Wait, but
well, I have to
you,
sustain myself, right?
Here. I mean, you're good at gambling, so
Exactly. I like my life a lot more as it is now. Just
well,
traveling.
That's what counts.
I agree. That's why. No problem.
We now arrive at the very last question, before our group will discuss more pressing matters. Our last question will be asked by Arthur and answered by Fletch.
I have 3 siblings. I have 2 older brothers, and I have a twin sister. My sister, her name is Brianna.
Alright.
She is basically my best and only friend. And my other 2 brothers are Finn and Ashwin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ashwin was always kind of like the typical eldest brother, so he
What do you
A
was
bully.
very bossy.
mm.
He was definitely. Finn was always very quiet, but he could get along with him quite well. Always had some nice conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just said, Brianna and me, we were inseparable. So we oftentimes just, we joked around quite a lot. We're a bit rebellious every now and then, always pulling jokes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do certainly still speak with her from time to time whenever I get close to home.
Okay.
What about the other 2?
Can we just move on? I do not really see or speak them. Yeah. No.
Are they?
They are fine. My entire family's fine. Yeah, anyway, can we just move on?
Now we have enclosed all of our information. Questions have been asked and questions have been answered. As the night progresses, the drawing room's rich, warm ambience grows increasingly dim. The once bright glow of the lamps has been softened to a faint, flickering light, casting long shadows that dance across the wall. The heavy blue curtains over the windows, once opened slightly to let in the last glimpses of twilight, have now been drawn completely shut, sealing off the room from the outside world. The group of characters who had been lively and engaged in games and conversations earlier were now showing signs of fatigue. Their voices have quieted to murmurs, and their movements have slowed. They sit around to discuss a plan of action for the next day.
I
Because
mean, we could always walk around that part of town and see if people know more about it. So we can ask questions to the people that are there.
Do we want to do this tomorrow, or
So
I personally think some rest would be nice after.
we
Yeah.
definitely do need some rest.
Can you not send Jinx?
I can certainly do this.
No, we shouldn't split up this early.
I mean, I can send him tonight to investigate, so he'll probably be back tomorrow morning, like around 12 o'clock at its latest. No.
Better than going yourself alone.
That
So.
is true.
I mean, he can also just talk to the Reds. Ask, they go aboard ships all the time. So how about I send Jinx to investigate aboard the ship, and I could see if I can find any rats who might have been aboard as well. Maybe I can ask Jinx to bring some to me. Meaning if Jinx comes back with some very interesting information,
Yeah, we can also always decide.
we can
based
always
on-
decide after based on what he finds. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
head to the ship tomorrow.
Wait for Bob
Of
to
course,
come
yeah.
back. Think decide.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
By the way, you think he sleep in the house, do you?
Hmm?
Edmund still doesn't sleep in the house.
Wait, that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we have a fucking assassin on the team.
There's always a window! And you know, every lock can
actually-
be picked.
I can pick lockets, so
I don't think you would trust it, so.
yeah. What do I have to do in your room?
Yeah.
No.
Well, whichever do.
As the group heads to bed, with Edmund too sleeping in the house now that he knows just a tad more about the group, we wrap up our story. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you for listening to our episode of Ludenscoot, with many more to follow. Next episode, the characters will be heading to the docks to search for a rumor, a pirate ship. But for now, we've bothered you enough. Bye-bye! Laters!